What a game, man. Like, seriously, I don't understand how you can watch that game and not be a fan of baseball. There's a quote that gets mentioned too much, so we're not going to mention it now. But it definitely comes to mind for what the Atlanta Braves and Dominic Smith were able to do tonight. So, doing a little bit different setup here. I've got the microphone in hand. Say hi to everybody, the Blue Yeti Snowball. Just seeing how the sound quality differs doing it this way versus having it on my desk in front of me. But this will be a pretty chill episode. Called up with the extended highlights. Missed the first half of this game while working for the Columbus Clingstones down in AA. They suffer their fourth straight home loss, but they're really good on the road for some reason. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the Atlanta Braves. So, getting it started early. The Marlins pick up right where they left off last night, and they got to Grant Holmes in the fourth inning last night and then just abused the bullpen from there. And they picked up right where they left off, and they got to Reynaldo Lopez. So not a ton going on in the first inning. Sacrifice fly is able to get the first run for the Fish. Ramirez is able to score. Marcy. In the second inning, though, several just hard hit balls up the middle for the first one. That was Norby. And then Pauly doubled just right down the line. Acuna couldn't really do anything about it. I know some people are going to talk about Acuna hustling, but I don't really think he could have got there. But something that is mentioned on that third run for Miami, Acuna is able to throw to Dubon, and Dubon just quick thinking fires to Drake Baldwin, and they absolutely gun down Sanoja. So Sanoja does not able to cross. That's all. It keeps it 3-0 then. Marcy would add on to score Pauly to make it 4-0, but that not allowing a fourth or a fifth run in that inning really did save Atlanta, knowing what we know now. Because after those first four runs in the first two innings, Reynaldo Lopez went out there and gave you 3 more innings. And after Grant Holmes leaving the game after only 4 last night, that is huge for the Atlanta bullpen that is struggling right now to get some length, especially after Martin Perez was DFA'd and all of that. Roldy Munoz, that experiment didn't work. Dylan Dodd got sent back down. You would love to have him right now on the Major League roster. But, Hayden Harris absolutely deserves a shot in Atlanta. That's besides the point. But Lopez gets touched up early. The Braves turn around in the bottom of the third, and they put together a bit of a response. So it starts with Drake Baldwin. Who else would it be? Well, actually, it starts with Mauricio Dubon. So maybe Dubon, Baldwin, the usual suspects at this point. Dubon manages to reach base. Baldwin doubles. Just a nice hard hit ball to center field. This was not going to be a double, but Drake Baldwin hustled, made the turnaround first, hustle double for Baldwin. He slides in safe, and that is a big deal because Matt Olson, he is able to double on a sharp line drive. This one was right down the right field line. Baldwin able to score. Was a somewhat close play at the plate, so definitely would not have been able to score without him advancing that extra 90 feet. So that helped. And of course, Dominic Smith got it started in the bottom of the second. So he had 4 RBI tonight. We'll get to the other 3 later. Ozzie was able to score the first run for Atlanta. And that's where it stayed for the longest time. So I picked up watching this game at about the 5th inning was when I really got to get off work and sit down and eat dinner and watch this game. So I saw the last inning for Reynaldo. looked pretty good. Then bullpen's doing their job. So for like Peterson for Miami comes in, gives you 2 innings of 1 hit ball for the Fish, and that's something that is really helpful for them, especially as they had control of this game for a majority of it. And the Braves, Dylan Lee and Kenley, they give you 2 innings of 1-run baseball, or 1-hit baseball. 2 strikeouts for Lee, none for Kenley, but he gave up the 1 hit. Only a 1.29 ERA now for Kenley on the young season. He's not had a ton of work, but Tyler Kenley has been fantastic for Atlanta. Dylan Lee, also much the same way. Coming in, gives you a nice option. And the Braves pitched, Walt Weiss was once again very aggressive with the bullpen, used his best bullpen arms despite never having the lead. And it ends up paying off. Robert Suarez actually comes into this game, and we'll, like you see, Marlins add-on. It's right there on the side. But I'm not concerned about Robert Suarez. The Marlins were able to string together 3 hits against him. None, all of them were pretty, well struck. But that was able to give the Fish an extra insurance run. But if anytime you're able to scrape off 3 hits against Robert Suarez, good on you. It's not going to happen often. I will toast to that, sir, because that's just not going to happen very often, as we can see for Robert Suarez, who has been lights out to start this year. As is, he gets the win despite giving up a run because of what happened with the Braves offense in the bottom of the 8th inning. So Atlanta had put together a few scoring opportunities, never able to actually scratch anything across until the bottom of the 8th. So if we just look all the way down here, this gets started once again with Drake Baldwin, who has been far and away Atlanta's best player. I think Matt Olson is giving him a run for his money right now, but definitely the best player for Atlanta to start this season. Drake Baldwin, single. This was just a looper. Managed to get through. Baldwin sitting on first. Matt Olson comes up and strikes out. He just missed a home run to tie this game. Probably was about 10 to 15 feet foul. Would have been another moonshot on this homestand for Matt Olson. Not meant to be. He strikes out on a high fastball. Austin Riley, he pops out in the infield. So Drake Baldwin's on first. And Mike Yastrzemski is up. And if you've heard my criticism so far of Mike Yastrzemski, you know what I'm thinking. And I think a lot of Braves fans were thinking this of, well, they just struck out. Matt Olson got Riley to pop up. Here's your third out right here. And Mike Yastrzemski, good at bat, on a 2-strike count, just hard hit ball right into right field between the first baseman and the second baseman. Baldwin advances to third. And you then wonder, well, what can Ozzie Albies do? Because Ozzie, historically, very clutch in moments like these, but he's also frustrating. It does seem like whenever there's a moment like this, it does fall onto Ozzie Albies' shoulders. And he gets hit. He gets hit, just barely grazes him, and it's able to load the bases up. Something I found very interesting. So this was, trying to search for a first name. Yeah, Peter Fairbanks. It's Pete Fairbanks, but I was going to say Peter Fairbanks. Pete Fairbanks, it's his first appearance back after paternity leave. And with the heart of the Braves lineup coming up, the Marlins decided, we're going to need you to get a 6-out save, Pete. They sent him out there, and he was not ready for it. This was the first time he's pitched in 8 or 9 days. And the Braves punished him. Said, congratulations on the kid, but we're your daddy. So I feel bad for making that joke. My goodness. But that's what happened. And Dominic Smith, a big Dom Smith moment happened again. He swings through the first pitch, battles back, couple foul offs, and then suddenly puts a double at 100 miles an hour into the left center gap, and that is able to score all three runners. And Ozzie hauling butt to get around third to be the winning run in this game. He crosses safely, moves Dominic Smith up to second base, and the Braves, they substitute Jorge Mateo for him, and the crowd at Truist Park goes nuts for Dominic Smith, who has been he's already turned himself into a Braves folk hero in what are we now? Game 17? Game 18? He has been fantastic for Atlanta. The fans making sure to let him know how they feel about him. Like the story of him hitting the grand slam after losing his mother and not telling anybody. And then again tonight in the clutch. Dominic Smith, I mean, this is already the third time he's done this for Atlanta. And he has fit in perfectly for the Braves. A lot of people, including myself, were wondering if it was the correct move to let Marcell Ozuna go. If you look at the stats, it is what it is with Ozuna. He's not playing really well right now for a Pittsburgh team that's actually doing really well for their expectations. But Dominic Smith is fantastic in this Atlanta lineup. And he should absolutely be hitting every day. And I don't know if that means that at his age, like if he can play left field, because there's going to be days where you have to let Jonah Heim catch and Drake Baldwin DH, and Baldwin's bat is more valuable than Dominic Smith's bat, but it does feel like you need Dominic Smith in there every day right now. Like if that's some sort of, like if Smith is your DH, maybe it's Dubon in left, Jorge Mateo at shortstop, something like that. But you got to have those guys in every single day. But the Braves continue to surprise us. They find new ways to win every night. They're extremely entertaining. And I think the Braves are kind of regressed back to what they were, which is a good thing in this case. They are back to the Braves that struck fear into the hearts of opposing teams because no lead was safe. You can go up 4-0 on Atlanta. Does not matter. You can go into the bottom of the 8th with a win probability in the 90 percentile. Does not matter. Braves win. And they will force a rubber game tomorrow. Rubber match game 3 to try to stay the only team in Major League Baseball to not lose a series to start the season. And I mentioned on the podcast that this was a very important stretch for Atlanta. You probably can't win the division during this segment, but you can for sure lose it. Even though you're leading the division, if you have a bad 13, 14 game stretch here against the Marlins, Phillies, Nationals, Phillies, you will put yourself in a hole that you probably will not be able to dig out of if you, say, lose 10 of these 14. And Atlanta is found a way to win tonight when I think a lot of people just said, well, they're probably going to lose. They can't figure it out. They can't hit. And suddenly, when it came time to be clutch, the Braves found a way to win. And that's something they're doing quite a bit this season. Finding ways to win just low-scoring pitching duels. Finding ways to win slugfests. Finding ways to come back from down 4. And the Braves are back. I feel very confident in saying that the Braves are back. So maybe you'll find me tomorrow and I'll be sad and I'll be like, oh, it's so over. But yesterday you said we're so back. What happened? But I'm very confident right now. Very happy as a Braves fan just to be able to take joy in watching this team every day again. Because last year, portions of it were brutal. So very happy and excited for what this team is doing right now. I mentioned the rubber match tomorrow. The pitching matchup as advertised. Chris Paddock will get the ball for the Marlins. He's 0-2 on the season, 6.14 ERA, 14 strikeouts. Bryce Elder, 1-1 with a 1.02 ERA, 16 strikeouts. Firm pitching advantage for Atlanta. You at least looking at those numbers. Bryce Elder has a lot of baggage tied to him. Last start out was his worst start by far, but he was able to salvage it without his best stuff and give you a respectable performance. If Bryce Elder can rebound and get back to where he was the first two starts of the series or of the season and not do a repeat of last week or get even worse, then I feel very confident. Tomorrow is Jackie Robinson Day. Every player will be wearing 42. It's always a fun, special day. And Atlanta will try to win another series. So, thank you for watching this far, if you did get this far. It's really, really helpful if you do like and subscribe to my channel. Man, I cannot talk. I've been talking all night, but I cannot talk now that I got a microphone in front of me. But it's really helpful if you do enjoy the content to like the video, share with a friend, and subscribe. If you like the Atlanta Braves, I got a lot of NASCAR content. I'll have some more football content once we get closer to the season. So, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It really does mean everything to me that people actually tune in and listen sometimes. So, thank you. Braves go for the win. Series win tomorrow in Game 3. So, for now, I'm Caden. Peace out and chop on.